Stevie Boy said Chiesa should be playing more, but if Mo leaves, are we confident Chiesa is a suitable replacement? No, I'm not. I agree with you on the first part, and I think most of us would, and I certainly want to see more of Chiesa, but in no world under Arne Slot do I think all of a sudden he's going to become the guy if Mo leaves. And look, there is a conversation that I wanted to have tonight about that as well. About the Virgil situation, about the Mo situation. You know, I'm not trying to say one bad game and our minds change here, but they're not exactly making the case at the moment for giving them more money, or in a situation where the contracts still aren't signed, they're not exactly... I feel like they're giving an out to the club here to maybe sell this. Well, you see, season, tiredness, fatigue. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I just know my head's a mess at the minute with what's going on at the club, and it feels like again we're going to win the league and somehow we still feel deflated. Colin said, Craig, after this loss today, should these contracts be renewed? I'd say no. I'd say yes, but I got to make something clear. Would I renew Mohamed Salah? Yes. Would I renew Virgil van Dijk? Yes. But, and the but is important here, more pressure needs to be put on them. So we need another centre-back, a high-quality centre-back to compete. And nobody should be undroppable. We need another forward to come in and compete. And we need a young, pacey, attack-minded forward. I don't even mind if the end product isn't initially there. But we need somebody that can run at defenders and scare them. Because Diaz is all we have. Darwin can do it, but he's off. And centrally, he's not good enough anyway. Salah back in the day used to be able to do it. Now he just doesn't have the ability to really go by defenders. So that's my concern. Give them contract extensions by all means. But it's got to be backed up with proper pressure for starting places. And a proper battle for it. None of this, we have Gravenberch so we don't need any other midfielder bollocks. That just allows this type of staleness to develop. No competition. Hello, Craig. I still believe if Salah and VVD contracts were already renewed, we would not have had this conversation. Heads aren't in the game. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely yes. 1,000,000% yes. I'm going to have a poll on that one at the moment, but 100% agree with you. I've warned about morale all season. I've warned about the narrative that these are professional players and that everything's great. And I just feel something's not right. And that was the next question I wanted to ask in a poll. So do you think there is some frustration behind the scenes at the club? That's the question I'd like to ask, because I don't have a black and white question. Like, is it the contracts? Is it the manager's selection? Is it the owners not spending money? Is it Trent's impending departure? You can interpret this question however you want, but the question is, do you think there's some frustration behind the scenes? Football Manager Insider, thank you, sir, for your super chat. You said, hi, Craig, do you think the players have down tools because the competition hasn't been great from Arsenal? I also think the contract issues are to blame. I think it's only natural that you feel you've got one hand on the trophy. And I think that it's only natural that as human beings, maybe you've eased up a little bit. But that's where leadership comes in. And that's where squad competition comes in. Because you shouldn't get to feel this comfortable. But I think it's a really interesting point you've raised. I think there's definitely some validity to it. And also, Arsenal, Arsenal have let us off the hook. There's been a fair few times this season where if they had have picked up wins at certain times, the pressure on us would have ramped up. So I think what you've said, along with the contracts, makes sense. So Whitehammer said, Diaz and Canade want elite money and they aren't elite. I figured it all out. In Edwards we trust, guys. He done it before and he knows what's needed. So Diaz has been earning a modest wage, and I would say has been our second best attacker this season. So him asking for upwards of 100 grand, I think he deserves. Canade is a strange one, because sometimes he looks like a Rolls Royce. Sometimes he looks like he could walk on water. He can do it all. And then other times he looks flustered and panics. And today he looked all over the shop. Right from minute one. I don't know where to go with it. I don't know where my thought process is leading me with that. But again, I'm going to come back to, we need somebody there to make sure that if he's not at his very best, well then on comes Hoyson, or on comes Hatto, or on comes Hincapié, or whomever, to be that person that puts the pressure on him. Maybe the Trent situation has shaken the team and made them think about their own future, said Steve. Samuel Elliott said, of course things are not right. Salah and VVD haven't been re-signed. Trent has his bags packed and his furniture is on a boat that's pulling into a Spanish port. And Canade's contract, the uncertainty over the goalkeeper situation at the club, the uncertainty over the captain at the club, the uncertainty over Mohamed Salah at the club, the likelihood of Trent departing, the question in their minds of will these owners step up and back the manager adequately to rebuild properly in his image, on top of the disappointing last month. I think all of these factors together probably culminate into some of the reasons why we're seeing what we're seeing. One good thing about Canade is he seems to be able to play a lot of games, whereas in the past he could rarely play 3 in a row. I've thought that as well this season, Steve. Certainly feels like some of those muscle injuries have been limited this season, and that could be down to the good work of Arna and Ruben Peters, to be fair as well. Do you think Virgil is being affected by the contracts? I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to explain why I'm going to say yes, because he's been so insistent that it isn't. And that for me makes me feel like he's overcompensating. Because every time he's asked about it, he keeps going out of his way to say how relaxed he is. And I don't believe it. And I don't believe it for a few reasons, because I know when he goes home and he's got a family and nobody knows where they're going to be living in the summer, that's going to be a question. Where are the kids going to school next year? You know, do we need to buy a property somewhere else? Do we need to close our bank accounts, shut down our utility? All these normal everyday problems that real people have, uncertainty is no one's friend. And I don't for one second believe that Virgil van Dijk doesn't feel concerned about his future unless he knows something that we don't. And that's absolutely plausible as well. But I think he overcompensates by saying how relaxed and calm he is, because I don't buy it. Nick, thank you Nick for your super chat, my friend. It's very kind of you. Nick said, hi Craig, Slot's style is good but depends on certain players. The performance has been lackluster, maybe with the players' way of revolt from what they're used to. It'll be interesting to see what the summer is like. Am I right, Nick, in saying that in his second season at Feyenoord, in that summer, he made a whole raft of changes to the squad? I remember, I'm sure I seen something like 13 or 14 players were changed in and out. And I guess this will come down to whose vision the club are going to back in the summer. Is it going to be Arne Slot saying, right, my midfield needs this and this. The way I like to play in attack, I need this player, that player, and that player. Or is it going to be Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards saying, we know your style, these are the players that we think are going to work, and who has the final say on it? These are interesting dynamics, Nick, that I'd like to see, and I'm interested to see play out this summer. Nathan Allen said, Slot doesn't trust some players. It's unacceptable because they were the ones who scored and won us games in the last game, Elliott and Chiesa. The Elliott and Chiesa stuff is definitely in the negative column for Arne Slot this season. I think he's been too pig-headed in that front. And what does he want? Again, 8 minutes from Chiesa today. Give him at least fucking 20. Give him a chance. Like, you see what he did in 8, right? Came on, had a shot saved, had another one blocked, and created 2 or 3 more chances. If that doesn't say that the kid at least wants to be out there, I don't know what else to say to the manager. And again, Elliott came on, made a difference. Exactly like we'd all thought he would. And again, we're hearing straight away, well, he might be sold in the summer and we're looking for replacements there.